Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I got a little bit of the sneezes today and sneezing a lot. So, um, welcome. Let's I'm gonna do something a little bit different and go live. Oh, just letting me go live. Hold on. That's really close. Hold on. Okay, that's back to normal. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Here I am. I'm a bit tired last night. I didn't go to bed till late. Stayed up. I had to decompress. There's so much going through my mind. And with that Mercury Sun Gazini, that really, oh boy. I had to process. Plus, before I get into the astrology, I had to cut all my basically, aren't they cute? Cutting out my stickers for August snail mail club. So I got that, and today I am working on the bookmark. Last night too, I was working on my letter and stuff. So much stuff was coming in. So many things I was processing. It was definitely just trying to understand things. There's a lot there that I'm still unpacking from people, but that's fine. That's fine. And I think with the Mercury Cazimi, it does that to you. So I was up. Everybody was sleeping in my house, and I was out in my backyard watching movies. And being outside watching movies as I was trying to process something, because oh my god, probably gonna say it anyways. Sometimes it's how things hit you and how you feel about it, and you have to like wonder, well, why is this happening? And the other part too is that when you're starting something new, you get a lot of times you get negative reaction, or people like, or you feel it's negative reaction because you don't understand where it's coming from, so you have to sort of process it. And I believe, and I've had this before, that sometimes the devil works through other people. And in saying that, meaning that sometimes they're very good people, but and what the devil does is that they will utilize that person to say something, to do something, or just, and it just doesn't make sense, and then it hits you the wrong way, and you got to sit there and you got to process, and you got to wonder, well, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And having to unpack that, right? And having to unpack that, and they judge and fear, and it's not so much to say that they, yeah, if they're judging or what they were doing, but I feel like that process of, where that's coming from. And me, like, for me, sometimes, like, I know water off the duck's back, but when I'm in the midst of things, and this project, and I before I get into this project's totally different. I feel it's different. I feel it's really pulling me in a new direction that I've never been pulled before. It is so different. I have dried flowers, and I found, which is really hard to find in Calgary, but I can only get a tiny, tiny bit. Come on, don't break. This tiny bit of lavender, but um, yeah, it smells beautiful. And but lavender isn't. I mean, it's lavender needs a lot of heat. That's why you get lavender in certain, like, French lavender or English lavender. It grows in certain areas that has a really nice climate, right? Um, so I was gonna put that, just taking the little tiny seeds of it, and I'm gonna sprinkle that on some of the, bookmarks. And Mod Podge. think I showed that to you before, but and Mod Podging. So today I'm going to be printing out the bookmarks, got to cut them out, and then we're going to Mod Podge them. You need to go out near Olds. I would find bundles of. Oh, really? Okay, good, good. Thank you for telling me that. Because back when I lived in the Okanagan Valley, Olivia and I used to go to a lavender farm. A lavender farm outside. It was south of Calgary, just after OK Falls. And oh my God, we would go and pick lavender. It was so awesome. And the smell, like you would leave there smelling of lavender. Now, if you don't like lavender, you don't go to a lavender farm. And we would buy bundles of lavender and come home with it. And what was also cool with that too, we'd also stop and I would find wild sage and different things like that, and go picking and do some wildcraft picking. Before anybody thought, oh, you can't do that. Oh, don't do that. I was out there doing it and then bringing it home and drying it. I had great big. I used to own these great big, like a bakery cart, but these ones they came from when you go to a think Mary, when you go to a garden shop and those great big green trolleys that they have and they have all the plants on it. I had like 3 or 4 of them. And on them I would pick mullein, I had burdock, and we also had loads of dandelions and sage, and then I'd put the lavender on there, all different types of herbs and stuff, and I'd have that, and then I would just leave them out and I would dry them in the sun. So, and then, anyways, that was another lifetime. Anyways, to this lifetime, coming in and just finding. I've asked a few neighbors if I could have the petals off the fallen petals and stuff like that. And one woman just like, sure, take as many as you want, kind of thing. So things like that, I think is kind of cool in doing. So that's all part of this journey. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely there's a link in the bio. There's a link on my Facebook. And if you can't find it, just get a hold of me and I'll send you the link to subscribe. So let's get into this dark moon. The moon's in Cancer, but it isn't going to be a new moon until tomorrow. And so this new moon, this dark moon, the Cancer, it's going to be exact tomorrow, but we are already deep in its energy. And that Sun Mercury Cazimi always hits me in a way of awareness, awakening in many different ways. So the Sun and Mercury really, for me, are very powerful. It doesn't matter what sign they're in. It just always comes and gives me that smack. And the message, it could have been comfortable or uncomfortable. And it was pointing you towards one thing. So the energies are opening up to point you into something new and move towards what feels like home and moving away from what keeps you in discomfort. And this week is extraordinary because we're witnessing the outer planets alignment. We have Uranus is going to be at 4 degrees, Neptune 4 degrees, and Pluto 4 degrees. And that's in Gemini, Aries, and Aquarius. And they're all within minutes of one another, which is really rare. And Uranus sextiling Neptune, Uranus trining Pluto. And the new energetic blueprint is becoming impossible to ignore. So this energy of this new blueprint of the world and of the way that the world is going is coming in. Then we have that Mars in Gemini, reminding us to stand tall, keep your posture, stay in your warrior energy, not the warrior that fights the fear. And that's, one of the things of calling this, my letters from Mama G, a revolution. It is a revolution of light warriors. It's a revolution of one who refuses to keep acting and keep accepting darkness where it is no longer. So it's coming out and allowing for the connections and the community. The Mercury retrograde in Cancer, many of us are looking backwards. So you find yourself, how did I end up here? How did this become my normal? How did I finally create emotional peace? Old situations may resurface, things you thought were old, finished, not recent issues, but older stories, asking for one last look before they leave for good. And then the Venus is squaring Uranus. That's the wake up call. That's the biggest transit, that Venus squaring Uranus. Venus is sitting in Virgo, right? With her beautiful gloves on for cleaning. Virgo with the South Node, with Pluto and Neptune forming a yod. So there's a finger of God pointing right at Venus. And this is a divine guidance. Now, opposite Venus, right? So you got to look in what's in her opposition. And this is no longer belongs, this is about what no longer belongs in your life. This is about what no longer aligns with you. And when you look at that Pisces energy, because you look at that midpoint, that she's, because it comes in like this, right? And then that midpoint, where is that midpoint? Where is that coming back to? That's coming back into Pisces, right? Coming into, where's that higher self of me? Where's that higher self? That evolutionary self of me evolving to a higher place. So this is where you look at what no longer belongs, the relationships, the money, the projects, the habits, the ways of life. You might find people that you are, that have been around you don't align with you anymore. You might find that there's a new way of you creating the abundance of money you want to create, maybe a new project, because other projects and other things don't align anymore. And if something constantly feels off, if it constantly drains you, if it no longer reflects who you're becoming, it it needs to be confronted. It needs to be dealt with. The South Node is asking us to release what has already completed its purpose. God, spirit, the universe, whatever the luggage speaks, right? Whatever is speaking is pointing directly at Venus and asking, why are you still carrying something, that stopped working a long time ago? And I think many of us are asking that question about ourselves as well, right? Asking that question. Asking, what is it that we keep carrying on, but we know that's not what I want to do. And that's where opening up, allowing yourself to be curious, opening, if something comes on your feed and you've never, say, watched it before, you were just like, oh, what is this? And that curiosity comes in, and it might lead you to something you never thought you would do or join or be a part of, finding new friends, finding a new relationship, right? So this energy that's coming in is very, I think, dynamic. It's very extroverted. This isn't a time like I see, I see people with businesses, other ones with that. Okay. You hear me talk about being a projector and a manifestor generator and a generator and all of that. And for me as a projector, I do, I'm posting, I'm out there, I'm doing my thing. And how many videos I have on my YouTube is crazy. Um, for things that I've done, to when I look at others with a business and I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you out there promoting what you're doing? And that's one of the things that I like really learning, like even doing that a little video with my Hello Kitty mug. Um, allowing that energy to come in. My example would be um, Kepacha. Kepacha is an astrologer. He lives in Costa Rica. He's American. He travels the world teaching astrology and astrology aligned with Kundalini and all kinds of things, right? Fabulous guy, very much a hippie. Um, but for him, like he's a manifestor generator as well. He just started filming. He just started promoting the things that he loved. And that's what I love. That's what I love about that type of energy because if they once they really love something and then they put themselves out there, it's like, wow, it's magic. It's beautiful. Yes, there's work to be behind it, but I've seen where many of them hide away, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, you can't." And with this energy is an energy of you can't hide. If you want something, if you wanna be creative, you wanna get out there, you want to, um, whatever it is, that you might be working in a job and you want a promotion, you wanna move somewhere, you have to get out there to show that boss, that person, I want this job. I want to do this. If you're sitting there waiting for something to happen over here before you move, mm, that's just, yeah, nah. Promote his reggae music, which he has extensive career already. So I was so happy to say yes. You must know I love music from all your video playlists. So I'm not aligned. So I was not aligned. You must know I love music from all my YouTube video playlists. So I'm not aligned. Yeah, so it's finding that what you are wanting to do. And with this, if this is all making sense, plus I'm tired right now, so you gotta bear with me. And I got a reading, and that's with a very old client. And she joined. And the thing is that if I didn't do my newsletter, she wouldn't have joined. She joined the snail mail club and then reconnected with me. And now I'm doing a reading for her today. Just absolutely beautiful. And how I met her was I was working in I was working at a place downtown on 17th Avenue, and it was oh, it wasn't far from Starbucks. Anyways, you had to it was sort of the underground, and it was a boutique and everything else there. And I had a little room that I was doing readings from, and she came in, and it was quite interesting because she came in and just connected. She's a beautiful woman. And then we connected a few times after that, and then haven't spoken to her for over 6 or 7 years or so, and boom, from sending her the letter, we just reconnected, and she felt that energy of what I'm doing. So I thought, "Oh, wow." And a lot of people who have joined the aren't the usual people that join my stuff, which is very cool. Um, and I think that's showing me that there's opportunities out there and openings that are coming in that I didn't look at or I didn't notice before. And a lot of clients that were clients for mine from back in the day, like these are clients that were like 10, 15 years ago, they've read the letter and they're joining. And that's where this energy is. The energy is saying, you got to step out there, you got to open those doorways. You can't sit around and hope that this is going to happen. If you made a connection with something or someone, or say your boss has said something about about a promotion or a job opening, and you haven't, you got to take that action to align with it, to have that conversation, do the follow up work, because the opportunity is in the change. Jupiter is beginning to tighten its position with Pluto, And that's that opposition, right? And the people who embrace change now are the ones who discover opportunity. Fortune doesn't arrive because we wait. It arrives because we're willing to move. This is the energy. The Cancer energy can make us incredibly emotional, definitely. We want safety, we want certainty, we want guarantees. But sometimes the safest thing we can do is finally leave the stressful situation. We are that we've been trying so hard to fix. And the new moon is one of the closest new moons to Jupiter this year. And maybe that's the message. You know, don't we all deserve emotional happiness? And sometimes that happiness begins with the simplest spiritual practice imaginable, and let go of what creates constant stress. Endings make room instantly. And one of the beginning lessons I'm seeing right now is the moment something leaves, something else is already trying to arrive. And that's Pluto in Aquarius. That's Neptune in Aries. Space is created, and a lifetime immediately begins filling in with something new. And many people fear the endings. They don't want the endings. They secretly believe nothing will replace them. The astrology says the opposite. Life wants to move quickly now. Just as fast as you take out the trash, a new meal goes into the microwave. And the universe is becoming far more responsive than we've been accustomed to. And we got to trust that. And we got to step into that. The era that we are in, the era is changing. And this is the last week where Cancer season asks us to sit with our emotions. Next next week we enter Leo season, and Jupiter's in Leo, and the eclipses are approaching, and the full moon in Aquarius is coming. Venus is slowing, towards her retrograde. The energy is shifts from a reflection into expression. And I've been saying this for weeks. We've moved into an era of the extrovert, not loud for the sake of being loud, but visible, connected, creative, sharing our gifts instead of hiding them. So many, beautiful artists and beautiful um, business people are hiding themselves still. And I'm just like, okay, you know, you got to do you, but you're not doing you any good. And that brings me to, as I look at this astrology, again, I can't help but smile because Letters from Mama G feels completely aligned with these energies. Totally. And this is where it's connection, community, creativity, stepping outside of the comfort zone, trying something new, trusting that if spirit keeps nudging us towards something, there's probably a reason. And today I'm working on the bookmarks, as I said. Of course, my hands are stiff from yesterday, but it's one small step at a time. That's how the new world is built. So let me pull some cards here for our day. And shame is a low vibe. Yes, it is. So I'm gonna do the fairy cards. I got the fairy cards here. So we're gonna do some fairy cards first. Okay, so we're gonna do the fairy cards. I've already chosen the 2 tarot cards for but I'm not going to show them what they are. They're these 2. I'm going to do these ones up, and this is going to be part of the mail club. So we're going to pull a couple fairy cards and a couple tarot cards. You love the fairy cards. These cards are probably, how old are these cards? Because I got them. I bought these cards at actually Sage Natural Wellness in Kelowna, BC. I know where I bought these ones. It's really weird that I remember that. A lot of times I don't remember where the hell I bought my cards. (2001). And I guess her decks, Doreen Virtue's decks, if you have any of Doreen Virtue's decks, you know that they're worth a lot of money. So I've been told. Because any decks that you get now are counterfeit, Chinese counterfeit ones. So, and I'm just like, I have tons. I think I have all her tarot cards that she did. Some box, most of the, I mean, because they were used. I have another deck. These ones are sitting here beside me too. Messages. That's a really nice deck too. It's pretty. And then I got her butterfly deck. She had some religious ones. I might have given the Mother Mary one away, and I have her goddess deck. But she had a Jesus deck and a Michael deck and a Raphael deck, and I think that was just before she started. Like she started bringing out a lot of these decks before she went to like really stepped into Christianity. And sometimes when things like that happen, like a lot of people were going to take Doreen Virtue as, I mean, when she did this, I feel like she saw things, right? She saw things and they just didn't align with her anymore. Or she saw things at Hay House that really didn't align with her. And for many people, and that's what you're going to find even now, especially with how the energies are, where people will be going back to religion because they're seeing on the outside world, they're looking for the community, they're looking for connection, they're looking for a place to go. And coming into a place where Christianity, it's tried and true. More people are going back to, per se, the Catholic Church, or they're going back to other Christian churches. And it's just finding an alignment, finding that peace. And that's what a lot of people are looking for in a world that feels very chaotic. And this alignment is saying, open yourself up to something new, open yourself up to a new, something that is part of that alignment. Oh, problems resolved. Ooh. So we got problems resolved. Love that. So if there are something that, and she has a snake on her too. So if you look at the snake, so if there's something there that has been troubling you, get a journal out, get a piece of paper out, get your pen, right? Get your little pen out and start writing it out. What is it that you need resolved? What is it that has been eating away at you that you need to have done? So what is that? And you'll find when you start writing things out, when you start putting it down, some pen into paper, information is going to come through. And that's because you're allowing for that creativity, you're allowing for that energy to come in. And when you're allowing that to come in, you're opening yourself up to new ideas and new ways of doing things. Or opening that video. And when I opened that video, it was just like, wow. You know, it changed. And it was something that I was just sort of thinking about. And all of a sudden, it's just things aligned. Where I was going to start it up, Letters from Mama G, in September, but my energy was saying, no, you got to start it now. Just do it. Just do it. Crazy. And with that, look at that. So there are, like, you've built up opportunities. There's opportunities there, but there's something new that wants to come in. Something new that wants to come in. But you're focused on, oh, but this is what I want to do. And here she's saying, well, the problem's solved. You can focus on that new thing. Don't, you you can grow things, you can do things, but all he's doing is looking down there. So you're looking at the 6 things that you've already done. You've done that. There's something new that wants to come in. Now you're over processing it. You're putting all the issues of why you can't do it. And look at that. Rise above the problem. So she's saying, rise up. Rise up. Problem is solved. You're going to rise up above the problem. You're going to move forward in a new way. You're going to come into a new way. And when you do that, here comes the Lover card. Now the Lover card is a card where it's not so much loving of another person. It's about having that love and respect not only for yourself. She's looking up. She's looking up, right? And as she looks up, she's looking up. Well, one's a 7. That's a 7. There's 6 there. That's the 6, and that's the 7th. This is 6. So she's looking up. But as she's looking up, she's seeing that there's something more. The other person's looking for guidance, but it's to be the vulnerable. It's the vulnerability. The Lover card is the vulnerability. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable in what you are now doing. And sometimes being vulnerable can be very difficult because you're wanting it to be a certain way or have certain things already set up, and it has to look a certain way. And if it's not looking a certain way, if it's not going the way that you want it to go, of course you're going to run and hide. Of course you're going to, say, I can't do this. Hands up in the air, elbows up. And this is where it's like, yeah, no, we want to do something more. And with this, look at, you got self-reliance. 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 So you're now, I didn't stack the cards here. We go from problem solving, rising above, to self-reliance. So there's this energy that's coming in that's saying, stop focusing on what you've already harvested, right? There's a new opportunity that's coming in, and you have to be humble. You have to be humble in this. You have to allow yourself. Here I am. I am naked before the gods. I am naked before the gods. And I am humbling myself to a higher power. I'm humbling myself for the direction and allowing myself to be guided on the divine algorithm, not on the muggle algorithm. I'm allowing myself not to have spiritual fast food. I want to have something of substance. I want to go and have something of substance, a trueness that really comes to my heart, and allowing myself to do it and to be exposed, even with this new moon, okay? Because the new moon in Cancer wants safety, right? So as I said, what does it want? So the new moon in Cancer wants the safety, wants the certainty, wants the guarantees. But sometimes the safest thing that we can do is finally leave the stressful situation we've been trying so hard to fix. Do we all deserve emotional happiness? Yes, we do. We do. Sometimes that happiness begins with the simplest spiritual practice imaginable. And let go of what creates constant stress. What is it that's creating that constant stress in your life? Or who is it? Who is it? Besides my dog. Just saying. She's my little stress. So what else do we have? Oh, the Hierophant. Your higher spiritual self. Connect to God. Connect to your divine. The keys are there for you. The keys are there. The knowledge is there. Allow for that knowledge. Open yourself up to it. Open your up to the bounty. right? You might not know how to do everything. I had to relearn how to use Mod Podge. I've watched a lot of videos on Mod Podge. and making bookmarks and doing the Mod Podge. But I think I got it. I think I'm going to do it. Doing the stickers, right? Creating the stickers. Now for me the next step is how do I um take the tarots and put them up online and decorate them. I see people with the iPads. I don't know. A lot of artists that are doing this, they have these little iPads that they draw on. I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyways, they do their little drawing on these little iPads and then they put it up on some program. That part I have no idea. Like I'm not um Procreate. Is that what it's called? Is that the program? Is that what it's called? I have no idea. I have so but they put it up and then they're able to or they have it and anyways, it's just fabulous. Like I can sit there and watch somebody create their beautiful art on their little iPad because I think it's a fascinating process, right? That's the drawing program. A lot of professional illustrators friends use it. Oh, see, I just find it fascinating. I'm not there. I'm not doing that. That's not I use other things or find a snapshot, use a snapshot, then um, use another program to uh, make it cartoonish or tweak it or do something like that with it. So, yeah, I like paper too, but I can't. Well, yeah, I get. It's like this. I don't know how to explain it. I want to be able to be consistent through each thing I'm doing and what I'm going to be giving in the package, in the letter. So I find that it's important to be able that I want sort of that consistency.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know he's gone.
yeah, he left early this morning. He left
Oh,
at 7:30.
I feel is doing him good.
So I love paper too. I'll see what I can do. I don't know. Well, I'm going to try something, but that's tomorrow. Today's bookmarks. Tomorrow's the next step, and then doing up the letter and everything else. So I want to have. If you're wanting to sign up for the August one, you got to sign up by the 20th. Uh, of this month in order to get August. Anything after the 20th, you will be receiving the September one. You'll be on the September list. And the September one is sort of a theme, but it's an alternative theme. That I'm working on too. So that's why at night, by the time at night, it's like my mind is still very squirrely and trying to do it. But rising above everything, that's what I'm doing. Let's pull one more fairy. What's one more fairy? What's one more fairy in our life? Oh, positive expectations. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. I love this one because it's well, it's not because I love art that's done on a black background. I really do. And then with that black background, bringing up and highlighting the lights. Um, I don't know if you guys ever did an art class in primary school where you took a sheet of paper and then you used all your crayons and you colored all over it, right? And then you colored over top of that black, right? And then you drew your picture like we draw a butterfly or something like that. um I find that this was very, it's like taking, like, yeah, you see the darkness in the back, you see the black, of course you see the black, but look at all the beauty that's coming out there. There's the lovely roses that are on her leg and her wings, and she's just holding her hand, and the little sparkles are there all around her. So with her hair and a little bit of yellow in her hair, this is allowing for that positive expectation. You might feel like darkness is all around. You might feel like it's very difficult to rise above your problems, but you got to try to trust in that spiritual practice that is going to bring to you and have you humble, because you got to step into the humility of it all to know that there's some new opportunities that are coming in, and not pretending that you know it all. Like, that's the whole thing. And sometimes you're going to get people that are going to challenge you on things, and it's going to make you feel vulnerable. It's going to make you feel, and sometimes, and that's yesterday I sat with that. I really did. And I wrote a hell of a lot of shit out about it, because I needed to process. I needed to process of why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And with those feelings, yeah, 2 of Cups. So there is something there. There's a connection. There's connections that are coming in as you're stepping above. So trust in the divine, trust in that process, because there's something that's beautiful that's coming in. And you may not see it, you may not know. I mean, that's the way the divine works. The divine algorithm is it's not going to give you that dopium spiritual junk food. That's not what it's going to do, right? It's going to give you something more. It's going to give you something of some more meat and potatoes, I'm going to say. That's going to give you that yumminess, that substance of things. So there you guys go. I want you to have a beautiful day. Like and subscribe, share this out, share my video out. Let's get some more subscribers. Maybe I can get to at least 1,000 plus subscribers by my birthday, which is November 4th. And I want to get to 50 club members for Letters from Mama G. So share it out. Let other people know. Hey, have you heard of Mama G? Hey, there's snail mail coming. Let her know. I'm doing my little, I'm like my son. So have a fabulous, fabulous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all you say and all you be and all you do. And possibly see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. See ya.